Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me. First off, I had to say the tongue slipped because I had a sip of coffee just before this, but we're back. Welcome to Adobe Live, everybody. My name is Brandon Groce. We are back again for another 2 weeks of the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. We have an exciting next 2 weeks ready for you guys. And, before we get into spilling the beans on what this next 2 weeks themes are, I want you guys to guess a little bit. But before we hop into that, I want to say hi to everybody that is in the chat. We have Gus, we have Laura, we have Henry, Sam. What's going on, guys? How are you guys feeling today? Laura, it's been a long time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we have a couple house cleaning items for today. You guys know this is day 0. We have a very heavy and exciting, not heavy, it's light-handed, but very exciting stuff for the next 2 weeks. And before we jump into all of that, there might be some new people here, some people who don't know what XD is at all. So I want to get into right away, if you guys are 100% new to Adobe XD, would love to have you guys say hi in the chat so I know you guys are there. Other than that, quick example, Adobe XD is used for creating websites, mobile apps, really anything that is or lives on the internet, XD makes or can help you make. So there's a little bit of what it's for if you guys are brand new. And for those of you who are new to these daily creative challenges, let's talk about how do we join them? How do we join the community that is involved in making these things? So let's move on over to my desktop here, ladies and gentlemen. And let's talk about the Creative Challenge. All right, so as you guys know or may not know, the Creative Challenge happens every 2 weeks. We let you guys breathe after the 2-week run so that you guys can catch up with any of the things that you would like to try, go back and do, things of that nature, because there's a lot that goes on in the 2 weeks and we don't want to we want you to, do what you can and then go back if you want to taste them all. So for beginners, how do we get involved with the Daily Creative Challenge? First off, if you go to behance.net/challenge/XD, that is how we get into what we're seeing here. You guys can see how the challenge actually works. Each day you'll receive a challenge. You'll join the community chat, which is in Discord, which we'll talk about in just a second, and so that you can stay informed and be with a beautiful community of like-minded designers working towards improving themselves and getting 1% better each and every day. And you have tons of daily live shows with moi to get you motivated and learning more about XD so you can really up your game as well as increase what it is, your skill and what you're putting in your portfolio as well. I've seen a lot of people who do the Creative Challenge put into their portfolio some really amazing things and even getting some, not to say this will happen, but getting in a good position to where people are looking at them to hire. So, you got to put the work in to, be able to showcase that you're improving over time. So that's what these challenges are excellent for. And finally, you'll be able to share your work within the Discord. And that's why, community is extremely important because you get things like feedback. There's tons of mentors in the XD Discord, and we'll jump into that in just a moment. But as I get back to this. All right, so as you guys can see, if you are new to this, and I do believe, if not 100%, we have the URL here. It's behance.net/challenge/XD. If the links are not down in the description, it's okay. You got them now. The week's challenges we have not yet unlocked. They will unlock tomorrow and as each day approaches. And all right, I almost slipped. I was about to tell you guys the theme. We'll get into it once we start getting into our mini challenge today. But each day that we have a challenge at 5 p.m. EST or 2 p.m. PT, the new challenge will unlock during that day. You guys can go in, get the file associated with that, the starter file, and you can follow along with me. Now, for those of you who are also, Gus says sneaks, maybe not necessarily sneaks, but maybe. I haven't figured it out yet, but we'll get there. All right, so let's see. Next, if you guys scroll down, and if you are 100% new to this page, I have so wonderfully already subscribed, but you guys can subscribe to basically getting all of the challenges each week by clicking this blue subscribe button that isn't there because I was so furiously ready to do that myself. So the next things that we have on the page are really, if you don't have Design or Adobe XD, you can just very easily open that, pick your ability to go into the starter files, the single application, or just get the smorgasbord of all the Creative Cloud applications. So, but if you're 100% new and you just want to dip one pinky toe into what we're going to be doing today, or just in general, feel free to get that starter kit. It's 100% for the free. All right, but let's roll back. Angela says, I can't stop looking at the time. Me neither. That's why we have a camera to look at. Because otherwise nothing would be done. All right, next thing, as I said pretty much at the top, we have 2 CTAs for this. You can join the community here and or here. And let me just hop into, we'll leave the Discord for a second, but if you click those buttons, you'll hop into the Discord and be basically very well welcomed by the XD family. All right, but before we hop into that, and all you have to do is continue with Discord. We'll hop into that in a second, but let's finish up on this page. And yes, Sam is definitely talking about letsxd.com. We'll talk about if you guys are 100% new or trying to learn how to use XD for the first time besides watching what we have here today. There's some amazing resources that we are going to hop in and showcase where you can streamline your education and get on par with what we're going to be doing for the next 2 weeks. So we'll have that for you as well. So all the past challenges are also on this page. You have March 1st to the 22nd, February 1st to the 22nd, and you can basically just go back and click the get started. You get a nice starter file. I just downloaded it on accident. That's how you know voraciously excited I am to get into all these challenges, and it's accompanied by the watch videos. So if you have the entire, and we have tons, guys, like let me tell you, there is a whole bunch. So you can watch all, you can get started on what it is. I highly recommend that you watch the video first and see if this is something you want to get into. Download the starter file and then get cracking. All right. So Meza says, hi Brandon, do you have tea or coffee? And sadly, I'm not gonna lie, I've been having tea for the past couple weeks because I've ran out of coffee. Too lazy to go back to the store and grab what I probably need, which is coffee. But you know, the detox is nice. Okay, but let's pop open Discord really quick. So there's a lot of things here, especially if you're new to just Discord in general, or if you're new to this chat. It's pretty straightforward, but let's dive into what all these listings are on the left and what all these people and who these people are on the right. Like I mentioned before, this is a huge community over, like, look guys, I don't even know how to say that number. I don't have that much of a math degree. That's 1,986 online designers at this moment ready to give feedback, work with you, in addition to just sharing their own stuff. It's a very nice community. We have mentors. We have quite a few online that give feedback on what it is that you've submitted. We'll show you where to submit in just a moment. And we also have the Adobe peeps here as well. Leah says, someone send Brandon some coffee. Please do. Please do. Dark. No cream. All right. So first things first, when you come into the community, you'll notice that Gus, front and center, we basically give, not necessarily shout outs, but we give announcements of what is actually going to happen during the day, who's doing the creative challenge, what's going to be happening at what time. Basically, creative challenge section is basically all your announcement needs for what is happening for daily creative challenge, for all the cool stuff that you want to be making for the 2 weeks that this happens. There's going live announcements. There's also, let's take a look at just the umbrella categories because that'll probably make it simple. There's announcements, there's community information, there's feedback. This is basically where you might be spending most of your time unless you have questions you want to ask or want advice. And then this is just the basic chat if you want to meet one another and just say hi. All right, so let's see. Let's dive into these challenges. So this challenge section, basically for tomorrow, for example, when we're going to be coming back same time, same place to do the same thing and get into challenge number 1, the challenge submissions that you guys have, if you followed along, or even previous ones, you guys submit here. Anything that is other design, you can submit here. There's portfolio reviews, so feel free to also submit your portfolios here for critique. And we also have past designs as well. So everything that is related to this or the day's challenge or the next 2 weeks challenge, they go in the challenges. Anything that is past challenges go in past challenges. So, all right, I hope that sums up everything in the Discord. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the chat. And also our moderators will take care of that so wellly, okay? I see them doing work in the chat. I don't even have to answer anything. Beautiful work. Thank you, Sam and Gus. All right, so next thing, how can we share our work when it comes to doing daily creative challenges? There's 2 ways. Well, there's really multiple ways, but let's discuss a few. So the first way, like I said, you can submit in the Discord very simply. Like we have Nadia here, flash message day 11, and they have their submissions right underneath their text. That's one way. Another way is through Behance, and it's very simple. You can create a project in Behance, and we want to be able to use the tag. Let me see. Let me get there first, so you got I don't confuse you guys. All right. So we want to be able to. These are just all my Behance projects. I can go to Edit, and very simply, I'm going to go to Settings, and we have project tags here. I have 10 already, so don't judge me by my tags. Okay, so all you would have to do to submit your XD challenge, or basically your Behance project, is put in XD Daily Creative Challenge in there. I'm not going to type it because I would be struggling and pressing the delete button about like 5 times before it's actually spelt out. So again, Discord or submitting your Behance actual projects by using the tag XD Daily Creative Challenge, or excuse me, XD Daily Challenge. There we go. Excuse me. Let me say it one more time because I said about like 3 different things. By using the tag XD Daily Challenge. There we go. All right. And I'm sure the moderators will also send that in the chat. If so, that would be 100% very helpful, not only for me, but those in chat as well. Oh, all right, cool. Thank you, guys. All right. Next. And for you guys, I want to show you guys a couple things, a couple resources before we hop into things in our mini challenge and what may be the theme. And also, I would love to have you guys guess in the chat. What do you think this week's theme is? What isn't it? Let us know in the chat. Okay, so right now I am in behance.net/galleries/challenges/XD. There's a lot of forward slashes, guys. You know, a math class powers and ain't they today? I think it's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's a lot. All right, and what we have here essentially is a curated basically selection of projects that are using that tag that I just mentioned before on the Behance, and that Gus also basically set straight in the chat. You want to use that tag, and we have amazing people at Adobe that are basically curating some of the works from the challenges in XD, Photoshop, Illustrator, but since we're talking about specifically XD, that's what we're talking about today. All right, and so what we're seeing here so far, these are all the projects that have been nicely and carefully curated into this particular part of Behance. And just to give you guys a little bit of a glance at, what some of these projects look like, let's dive into some. Let's give you guys some examples. Juanita says coffee deprivation. Let me tell you, cayenne pepper and maca powder is a nice replacement. We have, we have Paraveen Kumar. We have the XD Daily Creative Challenge, January 6th to 17th. We have some nice layouts happening here. We see what day 1 he decided to do on the Tuesday. Design the donation experience for a buy a book, give a book mobile app. Try using repeat grids to create browsable galleries. And we very simply, I even think he used some of the template from Andrea. And they just very nicely laid this out. He has what he did on day 1, day 2, day 3, and it was pretty simple. So this is how you would submit your, not necessarily case studies, but your work for the creative challenge for the next 2 weeks. We also have this really cool Space Invader piece here, the Apple Watch. And they did a pretty nice job too. They have a nice little quick synopsis of what this is. I built this in XD for the Daily Creative Challenge. I used the polygon tool to create the badges at the end, but mostly I thought it was fun to create the prototype as a playable game. The XD prototype is embedded below if you want to try it out. See, that's the cool thing. If you guys are 100% new to XD, that's what we are going to be really focusing on today. We've talked a little bit about how to get into the challenge, how to get into Discord, how to submit your work, what some submissions have looked like, and really how to use XD if you've not really been in it before. But after today, and we're gonna give you some resources as well to get you up into the ante before we get into some of the nitty gritty. We start tomorrow, because starting tomorrow, we are running, ladies and gentlemen. You only see me like this or like this. We're gonna be getting into a lot of good stuff. But okay, so we've looked at how to get in Discord, some example projects. Let's talk about how to learn XD. Before, Sam did drop in the challenge, or excuse me, this link for Let's XD. It did move, so some of the content did move over to a new link with a lot of forward slashes. So let me give you, if you guys just go to Let's XD and you click that, which is a very simple URL, it will take you to this page, and you have articles, videos, and or both to help you up your game when it comes to learning Adobe XD. You have the basics, what is Adobe XD and why would you use it, the quick start, and really a lot of other content. How to prototype, what are components, how do I use them, and just everything from how do you design, how do you prototype, how do you collaborate, and how to utilize design systems within Adobe XD. So this is your one size fits all for learning Adobe XD. Sometimes, you know, people go to YouTube, and granted, YouTube is amazing. That's why we're here today and on Behance. But this is if you don't know what to put in YouTube, you don't know what to put in Google to learn, this has been very well put together by Howard Pinsky himself, in addition to many other Adobe peeps. All right, we also do have, let me see, for those of you who are wanting to know a little bit more about Adobe XD, doing a time check real quick. All right, we're still good. We can take a look at the features. If you guys are wondering where in the world are all the features located, we'll talk about 2 places. But if you want to know what has been churning or has been really put out in regards to new things that all are XD related, you want to go to adobe.com/products/XD/features. Or you can just go to letsxd.com, visit now, and then just simply go to all features or what's new, one or the other. But that saves a lot more time. So there you go. All right, but now we're halfway done with today. Like I said, guys, day 0 is all about, for those of you who are 100% new, for the veterans in the Daily Creative Challenge, I expect great things and a lot of running and great work in the next 2 weeks. I'm really excited to see what you guys put together. So with that said, let's hop into what we are, some sneaky peeks. Let's talk about what to expect on day 1. All right. We have a question. What will be designing tomorrow? Is it a website or a mobile app? This is a great question. I'm going to answer it a little bit now. Let's take like 2-3 minutes. I want you guys to guess in the chat what the theme is. And after that, I'll spoil it at the end. But right now, I want to basically acclimate you to, when we start tomorrow, what the starter file looks like. Starter file. Don't start a fire, guys. What the starter file looks like, what to expect, how you find the prompts, how do you find the, basically what's involved. So let's dive in. Wow, Gus spoiled it all. Okay. Yes, it will all have to do with web. There we go. The beans have spilt, and I didn't get to catch them all. Yes, Gus. All right. So these next 2 weeks, we're going to be focusing on web-specific experiences. We're going to be doing things from micro interactions using 3D Transform, which some of you I've seen a little bit of play with, but not to the extreme that we're going to be messing with this week. And I'm excited to see what you guys put together. But there's a lot of things that we're going to be doing. So web-based experiences with a lot of cool stuff. I don't know the recipe. I just know how to put it together. All right. Okay. So when you guys open up your starter files, you guys will get what day it is, day 0, 1, 2, 3, XYZ. You'll have the prompt, I have it blurred because I don't want to give away what day 1 is, even though I put the 0 here. This is literally just the day 1 thing, and I blurred some things out. Okay, so you'll have what the challenge prompt is, so you can stick along with me and work alongside me. You'll have inspiration, maybe what it is that I got inspired by and what you could also work towards while you're working alongside with me on those 30-minute segments. And we also have a nice resource booklet, very nicely put together. And if you guys are probably like, all right, I see the folder, but how do I use this in XD? I got you, okay? So if you click on it, you have the ability, we have different component states here. And if you look at icons, you get to see where you could go for all your lovely icon needs, or you can quite simply dive into your plugins. And by the way, this reminds me that I need to back up. For those of you guys who are 100% new and I showed you all those resources and you're like, all right, Brandon, I have a list now of like 5 URLs. I got you again. Okay. If you just go into XD, you have it downloaded, beautiful. Go to your home icon, boom, and just go to learn because we are trying to learn. And everything that is from letsxd.com and everything you would need to know to get started is right there. You have the Get Starting tab, you have the design, prototype, collaborate, and design systems. Literally everything you need to know is right there inside XD, so no need to download anything else. All right. And on top of that, I just quickly, actually, let's continue going through this. So we have our icons, beautiful places you can get some amazing icons. And we also have how to find different fonts, photographs, and also nice tutorials tab. Everything, just like I said, if you have basically a list in front of you of all the different links to go to, we got you, tutorials. All right. So from that, I want to show you guys how to do something very quickly. If you're 100% new to the XD, what you would do when you would open it, you would go to new, and you get an interface like this. You get the home, get the learn, you get all this stuff, the cloud documents shared with you, deleted, managed links. But really for right now, just because I threw, usually this day is a lot gets thrown at you. You have multiple selections in which we can start with, but since we're doing web, we're gonna hit that web 19 by 20, okay? Or 1920 by 1080. And it opens up a new file. Very deliciously, it has our artboard ready for me to design on. And I'm not gonna actually mess with this. We're gonna go back to my other project, and I just wanted to show you guys how to open it if you've never opened it before. So main 2 things, if you guys are 100% new, that learn tab is a savior. Understanding how to use read the starter file, and how to open a new project. All right, so that leads us to our mini little project here. We have about like 4 minutes, so we're gonna mess around with some stuff, and I'm gonna show you just how simple XD is to use. Because we're focusing on web this week, we're gonna focus on a lot of auto animate and things of that nature. So I'm gonna kind of take all these things apart that I have here. And by the way, shout out to Revolt. This is an amazing Unsplash image. And just to show you guys, this is actually a sneak peek of one of the things that we're gonna be working on this week. Let me move this. But we're gonna be doing some nice hover interactions as well. so you guys can figure out how we can do this. But this is later. This is later in the week. But definitely come back, return each and every day, same time, same place, to really get started on all these really cool things. All right, but let's talk about how can we start to think about auto animate in this. And actually, let me get this question, Ricardo. We can find the XD file, or will that be unlocked tomorrow? Great question. That will be unlocked tomorrow. So if you go to the link that is down in the description, or if you go to the /challenge/XD that Sam is so beautifully putting in the chat, tomorrow is the first day, March 30th. That is when the first challenge will unlock. Great question. All right, so very simply, for those of you guys who have, you have designing down, and you're like, okay, well, maybe I want to try some animation. And it's perfect because we're going to be doing a lot of that today. So what I'm doing here, I'm just doing this very quickly because I want to illustrate something. XD Auto Animate is simpler than most people think. You want to think about it as before and after. I want something to start here and end up here, please. And so to illustrate that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my, actually we're going to do even simpler, just because I plan to do something a little bit more, but I want to show you guys just the way of thinking that will carry you out throughout what we're going to be doing these next 2 weeks. I want to just make a circle. I'll make it red. And I'm going to duplicate this by taking my artboard, holding Alt on PC, and if you're on Mac, the opposite of Alt. I'm sorry, I think it's Option. And basically, I